Welcome. My name is Ryan Belkoff. Today we are going to do RULA. So that stands for Rapid Upper Limb Assessment for Ergonomic Assessments. So from this learning objective, you should be able to identify when we're using RULA, what is coming from it, what job recommendations we're going to use. So for ergonomic assessments, RULA is definitely one of those tried and true um, ergonomic assessments. So as you can see, the authors of it was 1993, so this has been a while. Really focused on two outcomes of posture as well as the effort/load. So even though RULA usually has one sheet that's pretty easy to apply, when you're trying to record all these postures and the effort, usually some kind of software program. So this is one of the programs I've used. So I was doing watching nurses' aides, and so we had a tablet, and so these type of programs make it very nice that you can click on which side, because you're doing left and right side for all the hand and arms, and then you'll see you have trunk motions also that you're recording. So you just click on that box on the wrist, for example, if you think on the right side is less than 20 or 20 on here, you just click that box and it will record it for you. So this is an example of a RULA sheet. So it looks a little intimidating the first time you look at it, but I encourage you just go step by step and it kind of walks you through it. So the good thing is you can get these fairly cheap, even though they're color. You can buy a whole packet of them for like 10 bucks. So really easy to, be able to write these out. I know when I was at Boeing for a little while, they actually used these sheets quite a bit. But that was, quite a while ago. So who knows what they use now. So looking at this first one, the shoulder and the arm, you want to determine, all right, are they 90 or above? And if so, that would be 40 or 4 points. You would put that 4 in here. Same with that elbow. You're looking at, is there more than that 100 degrees, like fully flex, or is it down below? So, the +2 is for that elbow. For the wrist, flexion extension, especially on this one, not so much ulnar and um, um, ulnar deviation on this one. And so +3 on there. Then you jump over to this side. So you want to look at that, the neck and the trunk rotation. So let's say if they were looking all the way down towards 60 degrees, you would put +3. For the trunk, if they were just bent like 5 degrees, you would put a 1 and over here. And so that would be the score for these two. If you add these up, that's that first table, and you're rating it and putting those together. So let's look at example. So this is example already filled in for you. So that I was saying how it transmits to this table over here. So part A, you're looking at this, the shoulder extremity. This is that first one. So if you score a 3, and then for the lower arm, you score a 2. So we're at over here, a 3 and a 2. So we're right here. And then the rest, let's say we score a 1. And so, and the 1's not even, so we're up here on the wrist on the 1. So we're at the 4, would give us the table A score. So this is that Hedges. So the good thing from Dr. Hedge from Cornell, he used that Excel that you fill out and it fills out the tables for you. And so this is an example on how it gives the scores of the table. So it tells you what those tables are. For each one of those on the bottom here, you would add those scores together and you would get a 6. So the 1 + 2 + 1 + 2 gives you a total score of 6. So it adds those tables for you, or you can match those crossways in length. So this is an example that you could click on the guy that is spray painting. There's two different files here. Um, so the nice thing with looking at a video is you can pause it and try to determine which angle it is. So I encourage you to click on these files. I will give you additional folder files in the module so you can look at. So for me, when looking at the spray painting, I was saying that his upper arm is about between 45 and 90 degrees when he's going back and forth on there. It doesn't really pass that 90 degrees. For the elbow adjustment, I didn't think it was below um, the 90 degrees. Let's go on that other one. So this is that elbow one. So again, he's pretty level at that 90 degrees. So a +1 here. As far as a deviation, I did not see him deviate his hands away from his body with the elbows straight together. So 0 on that guy. And then the wrist flexion, this is a little bit debatable, but since he is spray painting, he's going back and forth, and there's more movement with that wrist. So I was saying that it's more than 15 degrees with flexion or extension, going back and forth, plus that one, so 4 total. And then for the arm use, so this is the force that's being used, and say we're saying a 1 on there. Neck location is looking down at more than 20 degrees, so +3 with a no neck adjustment there. And then truck rotation, pretty straight on this one, so less than 20 degrees, so just a 1 on that. And then if you add all those together, the 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, uh, you're getting that final score of that 6 that we mentioned. So that's how you're going to use RULA. So again, one of the advantages of using this ergonomic assessment is using a hierarchy of controls. So you can go back, which ones are the 2 on there? Was that so the forces was one of the 2s, and then the other ones you could say, all right, the rest deviation was what the other 2. So that's maybe something. How can we eliminate that to reduce the risk to the worker? So RULA, it's all about upper extremity, right? So you're evaluating the posture and the forces of the hand, elbow, shoulder, and neck region, really. Even though it does add the trunk location, not as relevant. It really homes in on upper extremity, and that's why it's, rapid upper limb assessment.